Stop right there. You think you know the truth behind the guilty look? Think again. That sad, sorry face isn't actually an apology. It is a sign that they are terrified of you. We love to believe they know they messed up. You come home, see the trash, and they give you that look. But here at Dr.DogPedia, we rely on science, not feelings. Studies show dogs live in the moment. They don't connect your anger now with the shoe they ate 3 hours ago. You aren't seeing remorse. You are seeing a reaction to your body language. Today, we are busting this myth to save your bond with your best friend. Why dogs actually eat grass. You have probably caught your dog grazing in the backyard like a miniature cow and thought, uh-oh, their stomach must be upset. It is one of those things we have all been told, right? That dogs instinctively eat grass to make themselves vomit and cure a tummy ache. But here is the thing that might shock you. That is almost entirely a myth. According to a study by the University of California, Davis, which is a massive authority in veterinary medicine, only 8% of dogs actually show signs of illness before eating grass. And get this, only 22% of them vomit afterward. So, if they aren't trying to be their own doctors, what on earth are they doing? Honestly, I used to panic every time my dog went for a salad bar session in the park, thinking I needed to rush to the vet. But it turns out, sometimes they are just bored. Just like how you might tap your pen or doodle when you are restless, dogs turn to grass snacking to pass the time or deal with a little anxiety. It is a behavioral quirk, not necessarily a medical emergency. However, we can't just let them graze freely without a second thought. Parks and yards are often treated with fertilizers, pesticides, or are filled with parasites from other animals. That is the real danger. Even if their stomach is perfectly fine, those chemicals can do serious damage. So, if they are chowing down on grass like it is an all-you-can-eat buffet, it could point to a bigger issue, and that is when a vet visit is actually a good idea. But most of the time, it's just a dog being a dog. But if you think that behavior is misunderstood, just wait until you hear the truth about their energy levels. It completely changes how you should exercise them. A tired dog isn't always happy. Here is a phrase I hear constantly at the dog park. A tired dog is a happy dog. It sounds logical, doesn't it? You run them until they are panting and lying flat on the floor, and you think, job done, they are satisfied. But let's set this straight right now. Just because your dog is exhausted doesn't mean they are the happiest pup on the block. Imagine if someone forced you to run a marathon every single day until you collapsed. You would call that a nightmare, not happiness, right? Yet, we do it to our dogs all the time thinking we are helping. Physical exercise is great, don't get me wrong, but too much of anything can backfire. Dogs need balance, not just exhaustion. Along with walks and playtime, they desperately need to stretch their brains. I started incorporating food puzzles and hide and seek with my dog, and the difference was night and day. Games like teaching them new tricks can do wonders for their happiness because mental stimulation keeps them sharp and well-rounded. If you focus only on wearing them out physically, you are missing half the picture. Dogs thrive when they get a mix of fun challenges and movement. So, next time you look at your exhausted dog, remember this. A truly happy dog is one that is mentally and physically fulfilled, not one that is just plain pooped. And speaking of how we misjudge their physical needs, you won't believe how wrong we have been getting their age. The 7-year age myth. Okay. Raise your hand if you have ever calculated your dog's age by multiplying it by 7. We have all done it. Oh, he is 3, so he is 21 in human years. It sounds neat and simple, but it is totally off. Who even started that? It is one of those persistent myths that refuses to die. The idea comes from comparing human and dog lifespans, roughly 70 years versus 10 years. But biology is way more complex than simple multiplication. For starters, your dog's first year is an absolute whirlwind of development. They grow from a helpless, tiny puppy to a full-grown adult capable of reproducing. That massive leap is actually closer to 15 human years, not 7. That is a huge difference. After that intense burst, the aging process slows down, and every dog year becomes more like 5 human years. But here is where it gets even trickier, and where the math really fails us. Size matters.
Smaller dogs like Chihuahuas often live past 15 years, aging slower than their larger cousins. Meanwhile, a Great Dane might only make it to 8 or 10 years because their bodies work harder to support that size. So, sticking to the 1=7 rule is very misleading and can actually affect how we care for them as seniors. They might not get a driver's license at 16 or retire at 65, but understanding their unique life cycle helps us give them better care. But if you think their age is a mystery, wait until you find out what the world actually looks like through their eyes. Do dogs really see colors? I cannot tell you how many times I have heard someone say, "Dogs are colorblind. They only see black and white." It is such a gloomy thought, isn't it? Imagine living in an old school,
Black and white TV show your whole life. But here is the good news. That is not the case. Dogs do see colors, just not the same rainbow spectrum that we do. The science shows that they can see shades of blue, yellow, and gray quite well. However, reds and greens are completely off their radar. This is why that bright red ball you bought, thinking it would pop against the green grass, probably looks like a dull brown blob to them. I used to get frustrated when my dog couldn't find the red toy right in front of him, thinking he was just being stubborn. Turns out, he literally couldn't distinguish it from the grass. This difference comes from their eyes having fewer color-detecting cells than humans. But don't worry, their world isn't boring. Dogs rely more on movement and brightness than color. Plus, their amazing noses make up for anything their eyes might miss. So, while they won't be painting rainbows, they are doing just fine in their unique, colorful world. But while their eyes might trick them, their expressions trick us even more, especially that famous guilty face. The truth behind the guilty look. Now, this next myth is so hilarious because we project so much human emotion onto it. Have you heard about dogs feel guilty after misbehaving? You know exactly what I am talking about. The lowered head, the sad eyes, maybe even a paw shuffle. It is the classic, "I ate your shoes and I am sorry" face. It is easy to believe your dog feels bad for chewing up your sneakers or knocking over the trash. But here is the part they don't tell you. That look has more to do with you than with them. Dogs are absolute masters at reading body language and tone of voice. If you walk in and find a mess, your frustration is written all over your face, even if you don't say a word. Your dog picks up on that instantly. They aren't apologizing, they are being submissive because they sense your anger and want to diffuse the tension. Guilt, as we know it, requires a complex understanding of right and wrong, and dogs just don't think that way. They live in the moment. Yes, their sorry face might tug at your heartstrings, but remember that it is more about avoiding your wrath than feeling remorse. So, instead of focusing on punishment or waiting for an apology that isn't real, it is better to work on teaching them what to do next time. But if you think that emotional connection is confusing, wait until we talk about how they show affection physically. Are dog kisses actually safe? We love our dogs, and when they run up to give us a big, sloppy lick on the cheek, we usually call it a kiss. It is sweet, right? Licking isn't just about affection for them. It is how dogs bond and explore the world. They use their tongues to gather your scent, taste the salt on your skin, and learn about you. It even feels good for them, as licking releases endorphins that reduce stress. But here is the catch that might make you pull back next time. Dog saliva can carry bacteria like capnocytophagia. It sounds scary because it can be. This bacteria acts harmlessly in dogs, but can harm humans, especially those with weak immune systems. Letting dogs lick your open wounds or sensitive areas like your eyes or mouth can lead to serious infections. Also, dogs might lick obsessively if they are stressed or anxious, which could signal an underlying issue. If they focus on one spot on your body, some people even believe they might have detected a health concern, though that is more rare. While an occasional lick is usually harmless for most healthy people, it is best to keep it safe, clean, and balanced for everyone. Now that you are armed with the truth behind these behaviors, you are already a better owner.
But there is one more secret talent your dog has that is almost like a superpower. Uncovering your dog's hidden instincts. Now you know the truth behind some big dog myths, making you a more informed owner. You have decoded their guilt, understood their vision, and learned why they graze on grass. But there is even more to discover about your dog's amazing instincts that science is just beginning to understand. Did you know that many experts believe dogs can actually sense bad people or detect subtle changes in human behavior that we miss entirely? So, tune into our next video to uncover how dogs spot bad vibes and other incredible talents they have. You will see your furry friend in a whole new light and maybe even feel safer knowing what they can do. Remember, applying just one insight from today's video on dog myths could make a real difference in your pet's life. Let me know what you would love to learn next.
So next time, skip the scolding and focus on training. Your dog doesn't need to feel bad. They just need to know what to do. Want to know if your dog can actually smell bad people? That is coming up next. Hit that subscribe button for Dr.DogPedia right now so you don't miss our next deep dive into your dog's hidden superpowers.